Meshki tries to talk a big sustainability game. They'll show you a lot of nice phrases like ethical sourcing, preferred fibers, and if you try to seek out numbers or tangible evidence of these initiatives at play, well, you probably won't find what you're looking for. But you will see how many people checked out this item in the last few days. By the way, this is based on my opinion and my experience as a sustainable fashion researcher. All this information was publicly found, and it's for consumer education and, the betterment of the fashion industry. One thing that automatically sketches me out is putting rPET as a preferred fiber, recycled polyester, especially when you aren't giving any indication of where it was sourced from, because if it comes from a plastic bottle, that's basically greenwashing. Pretty confusing when you go and look at a product that says preferred fibers, because it'll have the tag up here and here, but it isn't going to state that it's recycled there. And then they're going to put it with a last name, which is just going to make recycling afterwards impossible. They'll also talk about their certified cellulose fibers, but they are not going to tell you which certification they're using. Anything for the consumer to double check. And the same with this cotton dress. They say preferred fibers here, but they're just going to say 100% cotton there. They aren't going to say if it's recycled cotton, organic cotton, certification, a location where it was sourced from, because that's pretty important when it comes to cotton too. What also bothers me is that they aren't showing how much of their fiber share is going to be preferred fibers. We're also missing any goals, any targets, timelines. There's nothing here. And we all know how very vague goals always work out. Meshki tells us that the origin of their clothing is going to be from China and India. They have a preferred audit standard, which is SEDEX. But FYI, SEDEX is just like a supply chain data platform. That's not actually an audit. SMETA is the audit from SEDEX. And SMETA essentially just verifies that your supplier is meeting the bare minimum. And they also give no indication of how many audits they've done, and if they ever even visit a factory. Meshki says that they value honesty and transparency when it comes to their partnerships with manufacturers. However, they are not going to extend that courtesy to their customers because they aren't going to share what city these factories are even located in, how many of them are there, and are they regularly audited, or if the workers are even paid a living wage. And since they aren't going to tell you where the factories are, granted, these are most likely going to be the tier 1 suppliers, which is basically the finished product assembly. So this is only a snapshot of what the whole fashion supply chain could be. These are going to be Meshki's imports into the US. This is going to be the address that they import to. Additionally, Meshki will also import under the name Nimble Warehouse. This warehouse also has the same address as Meshki, and if you look in some of the bills of lading, you will also see Meshki's name in there. But obviously, names on a list don't really give me that much information. But if we look at this graphic, we can see who Meshki's suppliers are also connected to. And if we zoom in a little bit, you'll see that some of them are connected to White Fox, as well as Boohoo and Ralph Lauren. I also did some further searching, on the internet, and I found Naked supplier list. Naked is also a fast fashion brand, and I found that they have a shared supplier with Meshki. Additionally, I found this giant mess of Boohoo's manufacturing supply chain, which is so giant, and I also found 2 matches in there. As we know, Boohoo is, the best when it comes to ethics. And with a little more searching, you can find other fast fashion connections. Even ASOS and Primark make a little appearance. Oh, and you know how they said that their materials were certified? I tried to research, and there was only one supplier mentioned that actually had a certification, and this was for organic cotton. To sum this up, okay, Meshki is talking a lot of talk, but this talk, in my opinion, is just marketing. They are not showing any numbers, any year-on-year comparisons to show that they are actually changing the way that they operate. They say that they're doing a lot of stuff, but they don't have any proof of it. They say that they value transparency and honesty, yet they don't extend that to their consumers. And let's be real, the majority of what they sell is going to be synthetics, if not blends of synthetics. And it appears that they're also working with fast fashion manufacturers, which are connected to brands that don't really have the best ethics reputations. Just fast fashion with a giant marketing budget.